How's it going, everyone? This is the Jose Show. I hope everyone's having a phenomenal Tuesday. I surely am, and we have a lot of good stuff to talk about, so now let's get started. Alright, so now let's start off with the BET Awards. The 2022 BET Awards took place Sunday, just days after the U.S. Supreme Court overturned Roe v. Wade and rolled back reproductive rights, while simultaneously expanding gun rights in another controversial landmark decision. So, as the emotionally fraught weekend came to an end, many of the award show's celebrity presenters, performers, and honorees understandably used their time on stage at LA's Microsoft Theater to voice their outrage and dissent. Now, host Taraji P. Henson set the tone for evening, thanking Lizzo, who had opened the show with About Damn Time, for pledging $500,000 from her upcoming tour to Planned Parenthood, with Live Nation matching that amount. "You are damn right. It's about damn time we step into our power," declared Henson. "It is about time we talk about the fact that guns have more rights than a woman. It's a sad day in America. A weapon that can take lives has more power than a woman who can give life if she chooses to." End quote. Now, however, no BET Awards participant expressed her anger as boldly as the ceremony's first presenter, Janelle Monae, after wishing the audience a happy Black Music Month and happy Pride Month and shouting out, "All the gays in the house," she stated, "these artists making art on our own terms, owning our truth and expressing ourselves freely and unapologetically in a world that tries to control and police our bodies, my body, our decisions, my decision." She then blurted, "F you, Supreme Court." Her F-bomb was censored by BET during the live broadcast, but her middle finger gesture was clearly shown, so there was no misunderstanding her message, which, judging by the thunderous applause inside the Microsoft Theater, was well received. Alright, well, this is a pretty intense situation to be talking about here, and I completely understand where Janelle Monae is coming from, and I completely understand where Lizzo was coming from for donating that money to Planned Parenthood. Because, and I understand especially Janelle Monae for going out being mad, especially about the fact that Roe versus Wade got overturned. Because I personally feel like America is going backward now that Roe versus Wade is getting overturned, because of the fact that now women do not have the right to their own bodies, and they do not have the decision, especially to really have a better life for themselves. Because, I mean, let's be real here. As nice as it sounds to have a baby into the world, it sounds really nice, and it is really nice because it's a blessing in our world. I know y'all are gonna come after me right after I get to be saying this, but I think, in my opinion, that a lot of women out there are not prepared to be having kids at all. And a lot of women out there are not to blame for their pregnancies, because a lot of these women are victims of rape. I've said this before, and I'm going to say this again. Now, I also think that these celebrities that are going out fighting for justice, they're fighting out for all of the things that should be happening in America. That just comes to show how unified Hollywood could also be, as much as, of course, Hollywood could also be very dark because of the fact that there are many bad people in Hollywood too. But I mean, we got bright people like Janelle Monae, Lizzo, that are fighting out for justice, especially for women, and that are also siding with Pride, because Pride also counts a lot, because Pride is amazing. Pride is wonderful. The LGBTQ plus community is wonderful. Love them, love them, love them. So, anywho, I think that these people really need to step up their game over at the Supreme Court, and I feel like we need to vote all of these people out if they're not going to be stepping up their game, because we really need people out there that really need to be in consideration of the fact that these people here in the nation really need help for a lot of other things, not just for health care and not just for having a house, but also other help like abortion rights, and of course, still maintain the fact that gay marriage still has to be legal, because unfortunately that's also being spoken about, that gay marriage could possibly be overturned, which God forbid that ends up happening. So, anywho, I really hope for the best, and I really, really, especially hope that these artists continue to fight and continue to really speak up for what is right. And now, I also think that the BET Awards being on 2 days after, well, actually, yeah, 2 days after Roe versus Wade got overturned, because it was on Sunday and Roe versus Wade got overturned on Friday. That just comes to show that the BET Awards were on in a perfect time to, go off and speak about that, and also just show that Hollywood is unified in these types of terms, and these types of moments especially. So, anywho, I think that the BET Awards are awesome, they're phenomenal, and they really gave out a really good message after all. And also, I would love to give a huge shout out to Mariah Carey for slaying it on the stage on Sunday with her hit single with Lado, which is called Big Energy. She is phenomenal. So is Lado, and DJ Khaled too for being a part of the song as well, and also for being the one in charge of the song as well. Let's be real here. And no, it's actually Lado that's in charge of the song, but DJ Khaled's a part of the song too. But anywho, I think that they did amazing, phenomenal, great. Um, and I think that they really make a really good trio. So, congrats to the three of them. They have a huge hit in their hands. And Mariah, you are really coming back better than ever now that you are over here making music and you're over here collaborating with big people. All right. So, anywho, from that to now, more hot topics. All right. So now let's talk about Ghislaine Maxwell. Ghislaine Maxwell was sentenced Tuesday, which is today, to 20 years in prison for helping Jeffrey Epstein sexually abuse underage girls for at least a decade between the 1990s and 2000s. The British former socialite, whose late father rose to prominence in the UK as a media baron and member of parliament, faces a district court hearing in Manhattan. Following a widely publicized criminal trial, Maxwell was found guilty last December of conspiring with Epstein, her long-standing associate and romantic partner for a time, to groom, recruit, and sexually abuse minors as part of the late financiers now infamous trafficking ring. Maxwell was convicted of multiple charges related to sex trafficking and conspiracy. Now, her defense team had asked to postpone Maxwell's sentencing hearing because she was suddenly moved to solitary confinement. Addressing reports about her mental state, attorneys said that Maxwell had taken a test proving that she was not at risk of suicide prior to the transfer. They argued Maxwell's hearing should be rescheduled since solitary confinement meant she was unable to prepare for it. Now, despite Maxwell's bids for leniency, prosecutors submitted a written request to the judge 1 week ahead of the hearing, recommending that she serve 30 to 55 years in prison. That numbers aligns with federal sentencing guidelines. Now, as part of a disturbing agreement with Jeffrey Epstein, Maxwell identified, groomed, and abused multiple victims while she enjoyed a life of extraordinary luxury and privilege. In her wake, Maxwell left her victims permanently scarred with emotional and psychological injuries. They wrote that damage can never be undone, but it can be accounted for in crafting a just sentence for Maxwell's crime. Alright, so Maxwell's defense asked the court to sentence her to no more than 5 years in prison. Okay, this is pretty ridiculous here. That this woman did so much harm, especially to all these girls. And is now wanting to be only in prison for 5 years, or maybe less than that. Because here's the thing, when you are abusing people, especially when you are sexually abusing underage girls, that right there is sick, it's perverted, it's awful. That right there deserves a very, very good punishment, first and foremost, because the thing is that these type of people that do these type of things are very dangerous to our society, and they are extremely people that are not good in the head. Let's be real here, they are sick in the head. Now, I also personally think here that these type of people don't even have the shame to even say a word when it comes to defending themselves in court at all. They should just go off and admit the fact that they did wrong and that they deserve to be in prison for a very long time, instead of just going off saying that they deserve less time. No, not at all. And I really feel bad for all of these underage girls that had to put up with this living hell of a life. And I really give it up to them for speaking up for what they had to be going through back in the day with these awful people, especially with this person, because I mean, it really takes guts to speak up and say, you know what, I was abused. You know what, I was the victim of so and so and so. You know, because there are many people out there that really do not have the guts to really um, defend themselves and to speak up for themselves when it comes to abuse or when it comes to many other things that they have gone through in life at all. You know, and it's all because they are afraid that they're gonna get murdered or God knows what else. And you know what? A lot of these people that are afraid of speaking up and that takes so long to speak up, they aren't speaking up probably because of the fact that they are also being threatened. Let's be real here. Let's be real here. Let's acknowledge that. So this is a pretty scary situation here, but I mean, now that these people are behind bars, I mean, I think that now these girls are really gonna sleep. They're really gonna live their life now, and hopefully these girls can seek therapy and they can seek help to let go of this trauma that they've been going through for such a long time. You know, so anywho, from this sick, perverted person to now more hot topics. All right. So now let's talk about Ghostbusters. All right. So Ghostbusters sequel gets 2023 release date. All right. So there's only one question that needs to be asked. Now that the Ghostbusters sequel to Ghostbusters Afterlife has a theatrical release date, who are you going to call to home to see it with? Alright, so E.T. can confirm that an untitled sequel from Columbia Pictures has set an official release date for Wednesday, December 20, 2023. The news comes just weeks after Ghostbusters Afterlife director slash writer slash producer Jason Bateman and writer slash producer Gil Keenan confirmed on June 8 that which is Ghostbusters Day, that what the end credits of Afterlife hinted at, that the live action sequel will return to the original film's New York City and firehouse setting. Now, Ghostbusters Afterlife enjoyed monumental success at the box office when it made its theatrical debut in November 2021, grossing over $200 million at the box office worldwide. So far, the four-film franchise has grossed nearly $1 billion. Now, in the most recent chapter, Ernie Hudson reprises his role as Winston Zeddemore alongside After OG cast members such as Annie Potts, Dan Aykroyd, Bill Murray, and Sigourney Weaver. This go around, it's kiddos donning the proton packs as the grandchildren of the late Egon Spengler, the late Harold remakes, move into the creepy old farmhouse he left them into the small town of Somerville. Now, in discovering their grandfather's ghost-busting past, Phoebe, McKenna Grace, and Trevor Finn Wolfhard appear to unleash the undead once again and must also realize they ain't afraid of no ghosts. Carrie Coon plays the kids' single mom, and Paul Rudd stars as a true believer and science teacher. Alright, well, this is a pretty interesting topic, and this is a pretty interesting story to talk about, because I feel like the fact that they are bringing back Ghostbusters, especially by the end of next year, is already really good news for all of the Ghostbusters fans out there that are really anticipating it, because, I mean, this movie really made a huge, iconic debut back in the day. It really marked the great landmark of great talent from these really good actors that were in this movie in the first place. And let's be real here, this movie was also one of the most talked about movies of all, well, is one of the most talked about movies of all time, because of the fact that it really also broke barriers in so many ways by, showing all of the historical events that go on in the movie, and also all of the action that goes on in the movie, and also all of the adrenaline that a lot of people put themselves into while watching the movie. It's like the type of movie that you can even compare to Jurassic Park, or you can even compare to many other movies out there that are also, crime fighting and action and this and this and that. So I really am gonna be watching this movie once it's out, and by the end of next year. I really am, and I think that this movie is gonna be a huge success when it's out in theaters. So anyway, I really am anticipating for the release of this movie, which is going to be coming in theaters on December of 2023. Don't miss it, ladies and gentlemen. All right, so now from that to now, more hottie. All right, so now let's talk about Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick. All right, so Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick break up. So Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick will no longer have to keep their relationship on the down low. ET has confirmed they've split. Now, a source tells ET Bill Hader and Anna Kendrick have broken up. ET has reached out to Hader and Kendrick's reps for comment. The split comes just 2 months after the comedian was quick to shut down ET's inquiry about his real life girlfriend guest starring on his hit HBO show Barry. Now, oh no, Hader 44 told ET of the possibility of Kendrick appearing on the series. Hader's insistence that his girlfriend won't be on Barry came the same month that he cited his kids as his reason for staying mum about his relationship. Now, Hader, who divorced Maggie Carey in 2018, shares Haley 7, Harper 10, Hannah 12 with his writer-director ex. Now, they just want me to be their dad, he told The Hollywood Reporter of his daughters. They just want me to sit and watch Encanto over and over and over again, so that's what I do. The split also comes just months after a source told ET in March that Bill and Anna are in love with every happy in the relationship, and very happy with their relationship and enjoying their time together. Back in January, a source told ET that Hader and Kendrick had been dating for a while. The pair starred in the 2019 Disney Plus Christmas movie Noel together, but it's unclear when they officially began dating. Vanity Fair reported back in January that the pair had been quietly dating for over a year. Okay, so this is pretty suspicious here that the both of them have broken up and that this man is now basically shutting down Anna Kendrick in these ways by not wanting her in a series and by not even talking about her at all, and then by also keeping her kids not by also having her kids not talk about her at all as well. This is very suspicious because it really seems like it to me that that they are hiding something behind these doors, that something ugly could be going on that we do not know. And I mean, I completely understand as to why he wants to keep it quiet on what's going on with him and his wife because, well, him and his girlfriend, actually not wife, Anna Kendrick. I completely understand because, I mean, he wants his privacy. He wants to just have a very intimate life with just the people that he's around, and that is it. Because unfortunately, when it comes to breakups, a lot of people are already gonna go out and they're gonna, ask, and then they're gonna really, really want to know. And then if you go off and tell them, then what's gonna end up happening is that then they're gonna end up switching up the stories, and then they're gonna end up making you look bad, and then so and so and so. And then that's not a really good thing right there because then that'll really affect the person's career. So this could also be about the fact that Bill Hader really wants to save his own career, and about the fact that he also wants to not be the next Johnny Depp and Amber Heard, especially because, I mean, come on now. Then people are gonna automatically assume, oh my God, well, she did this to me and this and that, or oh my God, this, and and that's one thing that we really do not want in life at all, because, I mean, come on now, we really have been putting up with so much drama and breakups and this and that lately in Hollywood, which is really ugly because, I mean, here's the thing, the fact that the both of them have broken up is already giving a really good example of the fact that in Hollywood, relationships usually do not last at all, especially marriages, because of the fact that, yes, I mean, usually a lot of the couples out there, they are too busy with their own lives, they're too busy with their own careers especially, and they really do not have the time to really have time for one another. And it could also be because of the fact that, stuff like physical abuse, sexual abuse, cheating could happen in between a relationship and in a marriage, as well as to why these marriages and relationships usually do not last. So it is really sad here that we are really seeing these types of things, and I really give it up to all of the people, especially all of the people in Hollywood that have actually lasted. Like Beyonce and Jay-Z, for example. I mean, the both of them have lasted for many, many years now, and they are a very happy couple, and the both of them share 3 beautiful kids. That's a really good example of a relationship and of a stable marriage, especially that is in Hollywood. So, anywho, I think that if things don't work out in a relationship, then it's best that you just get to stay single, and that you get to maybe take time for yourself if you really, really need it. And also take time for yourself and reflect before getting in a position where you're dating someone else or when you're dating someone. Because then, if you really don't do that, then you're not going to know who you want to be with, and then you're going to end up having problems with the person that you thought you wanted to be with, and then you're not going to last with that person. So, that's what I also have to say about this. So, anywho, um, that that is all I have to say about this, and yeah. All right, so from that to now, more hot tea. All right, so let's talk about Britney Spears. All right, so as we all know, Britney Spears and Sam Asghari just got married a few weeks ago, and Jason Alexander, as we all know, is a freaking psychopath. Okay, so Britney Spears' ex, Jason Alexander, allegedly tried to enter her bedroom on her wedding day. All right, so this is pretty scary, ladies and gentlemen. Britney Spears' ex, Jason Alexander, has been ordered to stand trial on a felony charge after allegedly breaking into Spears' home on the day she married Sam Asghari. Now, according to the Associated Press, Ventura County Judge David Worley ruled that Alexander 40 would go on trial for a felony stalking charge after concluding during a 2-hour preliminary hearing on Monday that there was enough evidence against him. In addition, according to court documents obtained by the publication, Alexander will face misdemeanor trespassing charges, vandalism, and battery. Alexander, who remains in jail, pleaded not guilty to all charges through his lawyer. Now, according to People, per the booking form with the Ventura County Sheriff's Office, Alexander's bail is set at a $100,000 bond. Now, according to Rolling Stone, Spears' former security guard Richard N. Eubler, who was fired shortly after the incident on the singer's wedding day, testified that Alexander allegedly tried to break through Spears' bedroom door, which was locked upon entering the residence. Now, this is what was being said. He started reaching into his right pocket. Eubler claimed about Alexander's alleged reaction when he noticed the door wouldn't open. I drew my weapon and held it to my chest. End quote. All right, this is pretty intense here, ladies and gentlemen, that this man tried to break into Britney Spears' bedroom. And also, this just comes to show that this man is really a psychopath. This man really needs to let go of the fact that he once was married to Britney Spears, especially because of the fact that they were only married for like 54 hours, which is nothing. Now, another thing that I have to say is the fact that he was trying to break into Britney Spears' bedroom, not only does it come to show that he is a psychopath, but also it is coming to show that he is someone that wants to investigate on what Britney Spears has been doing with Sam Asghari and what she has been doing in general, and wants to also investigate if she has any personal belongings that he wants to steal from her. I'm pretty sure, maybe in revenge to the fact that he is jealous that she got married to someone else now and that she is no longer his. That could also be it, because I mean, a lot of the facts when it comes to relationships, a lot of the times when it comes to relationships, what happens is that when an ex really gets in huge anger and in huge jealousy that their ex ends up moving on with another person in their life, what happens is that they get so mad to the point that they will steal stuff from their ex, they will stalk their ex, they will go off and investigate what they have been doing in their life while they have been, away from them. So that is exactly what a psychopath does, and that is exactly what Jason Alexander has been doing, and that is exactly the example of and the red flag to all couples out there, especially all people out there that have experienced a situation where they would have their own ex do horrible things to them in the past. It's a really good example right there, and a red flag that, you know what, if you ever go through a situation like that with your ex, and it's best that you get to call the cops on that person, and it's best that you also get to hire really good security guards, so that way they can be able to take that person away from you, especially from your own life, you know? So that's what I have to say about this. And one more thing that I have to say about this is that I really hope that this man really ends up getting the punishment that he deserves for doing what he did, especially by breaking into her own home. What type of man is he? That right there is not being a gentleman, and that right there is being a horrible, awful, evil person. So, anywho, Britney Spears, you have the best time of your life, and you have the best moments of your life with Sam Asghari, and do not listen to that horrible person. And also, I really hope you get to file a restraining order from this man too, because this man is really becoming to prove that he could also be doing way more bad things to you in the near future if you really did not take any more legal action towards this man. So, anywho, that is it. That is it. Alright, so that is it for today's show, you guys, and I really hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of The Jose Show, and I'll be back with more hot tea. Till next time, peace.